What's going on, guys? My name is BasedOnImpulse and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a build that I've been using a lot lately for Voidwalker Warlock that I've been having a ton of fun with this season. Before we get into that though, I know you guys are probably wondering where the hell I've been. It's been a fat minute since I've uploaded and I am sorry about that. I kind of baited you guys saying I was back and then just disappeared again. I've had a crazy busy few months that didn't really give me the time I would have needed to keep putting out the video quality that I know you guys expect from me. That being said, going forward, I'm shooting for 2 to 3 videos per week. I would love to upload more if I was able to, but I'm a full-time college student and I'm also going to be starting a new job soon, so 2 to 3 videos per week is really my maximum at the moment. Streams are still very much TBD because of my internet situation and schedule, but once I have all that sorted, I'll try to start streaming again. The best way to keep up to date with all of this is to follow me on Twitter. I'm constantly tweeting out about stuff over there. I'm really excited to get back into creating content again because Season 15 and the Witch Queen reveal both really have me amped up about Destiny. So with that being said, be sure to hit that sub button and turn on notifications so that you know whenever I post new videos going forward. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and consider sharing it with your friends, as both of those really help me out. Now that we've got all that boring housekeeping out of the way, let's talk about Destiny. The whole purpose of this build is to give you super fast Nova Bombs by taking advantage of our exotic armor piece, as well as several other mods that help with your super regen. I found that this build works really well on all 3 Voidwalker trees. However, for the purposes of this video and in the gameplay, I'm going to be running bottom tree since the constant health regen from Devour is a nice bonus to the build. This build is great for your run-of-the-mill content like playlist strikes and could potentially be good in higher-end content like Grandmasters if there's a lot of void shields like there is in the Hollowed Lair this season, but I haven't gotten a chance to test it in that sort of high-tier content. Getting into the build itself, let's start off with the exotic armor piece of choice for this build, which is the Mantle of Battle Harmony. This chest piece released with the Season of the Chosen, and I personally think it's one of the most underrated Warlock exotics right now. Mantle of Battle Harmony comes with the exotic perk Absorption Cells, which states that takedowns with this weapon that have a damage type matching your subclass element grant you super energy. While your super energy is full, you instead gain a temporary bonus to weapon damage of the type matching your subclass element. This is a great exotic to pair into the build because it allows you to keep getting additional super energy while your grenade is recharging, and we're going to be taking advantage of another mod later that also helps with this downtime of your grenade. I've seen similar builds to this that take advantage of Verity's Brow, but running this build with Devour essentially makes Verity's Brow obsolete, as Devour intrinsically gives you grenade energy on any kills and not just on subclass matching weapon kills. Of course, if you wanted to run a different Voidwalker tree, Verity's Brow or Controverse Hold are both equally solid options if you want to run one of the other 2 trees. As far as void weapons to pair with this exotic, here's a handful of really solid options. Gnawing Hunger, which is an anti-barrier weapon this season, the Shiora's Wrath SMG from Trials of Osiris, the Last Perdition Pulse Rifle if you're in need of unstoppable rounds, the Brass Attack Sidearm from Season of the Chosen, and the Every Waking Moment SMG from the Moon. I'll be giving the Every Waking Moment its own video soon, as it can get a role that elevates it to a class of its own among 600 RPM SMGs inside of PvE. If you're looking for an exotic primary, the Traveler's Chosen exotic sidearm is actually another solid option if you've earned the Catalyst, which is dropping this season, as it adds the perk Osmosis, which changes the damage type of the weapon to match your subclass after you throw a grenade. And since this build is all about throwing grenades and getting grenade regen, this exotic weapon really pairs well into this build. Now let's get into the real meat of this and talk about all the armor mods that you're going to want to have equipped. I want to first mention the armor affinities across the board that you're going to need so that you'll know what to expect going into this. It's actually pretty straightforward. The build requires 4 solar armor pieces, and your boots can be whatever element because the mod going there doesn't have any kind of affinity. I also recommend having tier 10 stats in both recovery and discipline, as well as tier 5 in intellect. That tier 5 in intellect will make sense in a little bit. Let's just run through every mod we're running in our combat mod slots for this build. We've got Elemental Charge, Firepower, Font of Wisdom, and Elemental Ordnance. So why these mods? Well, it all starts with Elemental Ordnance, which will spawn an elemental well upon getting a grenade kill. The way this seems to work is that the first enemy to die from your grenade drops the well, but getting multiple kills with 1 grenade does not spawn multiple wells. I also personally recommend using Vortex grenades since I find them to be the most consistent at getting kills in PvE of your 3 choices for Voidwalker. Picking up the elemental well will then grant you 2 stacks of Charged with Light thanks to the Elemental Charge mod, which states that picking up an elemental well matching your subclass grants 2 stacks of Charged with Light. Picking that well up will also activate your Font of Wisdom mod, which states that picking up an elemental well that matches your subclass energy type grants you a temporary significant increase in your intellect. This significant increase is a plus 50 bonus to your intellect stat for 30 seconds, which is why I recommend a tier 5 intellect stat, because anything anything higher than that is kind of wasted in this build. With tier 10 recovery and discipline as well as tier 5 intellect with font of wisdom active, you are essentially running a triple 100 build in recovery, discipline, and intellect. With the timer as long as it is, combined with firepower and devour, you essentially have font of wisdom constantly active. A couple other mods that are useful in this build, but not required, are Absolution and Bomber. Absolution will reduce all your ability cooldowns when you pick up an Orb of Power, and Bomber will give you grenade energy each time you cast your Rift. Neither of these make or break the build, but if you have the space for them, they are nice to have. And that's really the whole video. I highly recommend you guys give this build a try in some playlist strikes, especially since this week is Void Singe. I'm going to let this strike gameplay play out for you guys, but before I go, I want to remind you to leave a like on the video and to share this with a friend. Be sure to also hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified whenever I put out new content for you guys. Like I said earlier, we'll have a video coming out soon on the Every Waking Moment SMG, so make sure you have notifications on so that you don't miss that. Anyways, thank you all for coming and watching. The actual commentary part of this video is over. It's just going to be some strike gameplay to play it out. If you want to stick around and watch it, great. If you don't, great having you here, and I'll see all of you guys in the next video.
bitches.